guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have something that's very exciting because I don't think that I've shot a fragrance video in over 6 months, which is crazy for me. You guys know how much I love chatting about perfumes, and it's just a massive passion of mine, and I always do like to change them up from season to season. I have done a fair few perfume videos, things I look for specific seasons, and also just roundups of my collection. A lot has changed since then. There have been some new ones that I've introduced into my collection, and there have been some oldie but goodies that I just absolutely adore. So as we're kind of getting to the end of summer now, I'm starting to wear slightly heavier perfumes, not just for the evening, but also the weather is still very warm at the moment, but I am starting to introduce a little bit darker ones into my everyday wear. So I thought I would talk to you today about my top 5. Now these are really fantastic all year rounders apart from one, but they are mainly geared towards the crisper months or the autumn and winter. But you can wear them the back end of summer and in the evenings if you want something a little bit more heavy, a little bit more complicated, then they're perfect for that. But these are just some I absolutely adore. There's one here that is so beautiful for summertime, and I'm going to start off with that one, and it's one that's very new to my collection and I absolutely adore it, and it is the Zarco Pink Molecule. So this is actually called Pink Molecule 09009, which is quite a mouthful, so I just basically call it Pink Molecule. Packaging wise, it's absolutely stunning. It's a small glass bottle with golden hardware, and as you'll see, it's a pink kind of shade to it, which is obviously meant to emulate the pink champagne. Now this smells incredibly fresh, incredibly vibrant and playful, very classic, very clean. It smells exactly like what it is called. It smells of pink champagne. It almost smells fizzy, if that makes sense. It's crazy to describe, but it smells very fizzy, it smells very zingy, but again very fresh, and you do get that kind of pink champagne. It smells overwhelmingly of like a really lovely sharp champagne. It's kind of like when you're in a club and you're wearing lots of beautiful body creams and scented perfumes and you spill a bit of Prosecco or champagne on yourself, and it kind of infuses with your natural pheromones, and it just smells incredible. It smells like that. So it's quite alcohol-y, but not in a horrible alcoholic kind of way, just in a very sexy but fresh sort of way. And it is absolutely stunning. It's one that I would recommend for any time of year really, so it's not really geared towards any specific time, but I would say that I probably wouldn't reach for this as much as soon as winter hits. But for day wear, days where I want it to be really crisp and outdoorsy and quite salty actually, that is when I would bust this out, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's perfect for everyday wear. Again, it's just a really lovely shopping, day out, meetings kind of fragrance. It's very light, very feminine, very inoffensive, and very classic. It's not really a complicated scent, but it's very dreamy and it's very feminine and light, and I really do like it. It's such a breath of fresh air with that kind of champagne twist. It's absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love that, and that is again the Zarco perfume in Pink Molecule. Staying on the classic clean kind of scent, I've had this in my collection for a number of years, and I stopped wearing it for the last 3 years I would say, and I haven't really busted it out until now. I actually got it rebought for me for my birthday, and I was definitely ready to reintroduce it to my collection. It's an oldie but goodie. It's one I've been wearing since I was 17 years old, and it is Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. This is such an iconic fragrance. It's kind of one of those fragrances that everybody knows, everybody recognizes. You walk into a Selfridges and it hits you. It's that beautiful, unmistakable scent of Chanel. It's expensive, it's crisp, it's clean, it's classic, and it just smells incredible. It's quite difficult to actually nail down what this smells like other than a really expensive department store. It's got a fusion of sweetness but also a tanginess to it. It's vibrant and it's very sexy as well, and it's a very accomplished fragrance that I really do enjoy to wear. The packaging is gorgeous, as it is with all of Chanel's products. This is an eau de parfum, so it's very strong. I've heard that some people say that this can, because it's so strong, it can be quite headache inducing. I don't find that. I guess for me, because I've wore it for so many years, it feels very comfortable for me, kind of like a home away from home. Very clean, classic, one for all year round. Again, very expensive and accomplished, and that is the Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. I absolutely adore it, and it's just one that lasts so well. You can spritz this on a cardigan, not wear it for 6 months, come back to it, and you will still get the Chanel scent. That is how strong this is. It's incredible. So I absolutely do love Chanel for the longevity and that kind of thing. It's not the most unique fragrance. Again, a a lot of people love it. It's very popular. It's always in the top ranking of perfumes because it's just so classic. But it's just one of them that everybody should have in their collection. It's wonderful, so I do love that. Speaking of unique scent, so obviously Coco Mademoiselle is not that unique, a lot of people own it. This one by Givenchy I love, and I don't smell it on other people that often because it's not the most typical fragrance. It's one of my favourites. I actually started wearing this when I was about 19 years old, and I'm 32 now, and I'm still so in love with it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful feminine scent, and it's the Haute Couture. Haute Couture is quite difficult to find. I will link it down below. I know Feel Unique sell it because that's where I got mine from, and it's just such a heavy, sexy, feminine girl boss fragrance, if you like. It's very, very self-assured fragrance. This is not for the wallflower in the room. If you wear this, you're going to be asked about it. It's a very unique scent, but it is very, very feminine and sexy. It's such a joy to wear. And again, it's like nothing that I've ever smelled. Like with a lot of perfumes, you can kind of liken it to something else. You can liken it to a product, you can liken it to another scent, you can liken it to something. With this, it's completely unique. And I always find that not many people talk about this fragrance. And I think because of the packaging, it just looks really underwhelming. Unless you actually physically go and smell this, you wouldn't probably think that this looks like anything that interesting, but actually this is the kind of perfume that speaks for itself. You wear it, people ask you about it, and it's one of them that men and women both really appreciate. It's not for one or the other, it's not headache inducing, but it's very heavy. It's a very comforting fragrance, like being wrapped in a very, very expensive cashmere blanket. For me, Haute Couture smells very much like amber, and amber to me holds a very kind of patisserie-like scent. So say you have an apple crumble, you have the brown sugar, the caramelization, the pastry of it, the actual crumble, that just smells incredibly rich. And then you have the zinginess and sweetness and tartness of the apple, and they come together and they bake together, and that waft that you get off an apple crumble, that to me smells like amber. It's very rich but tangy and very complicated. And then you have the magnolia, which is very uplifting, quite vanilla-y, and it's just such a beautiful scent. It's complicated, but it absolutely works. And for me personally, I would say autumn to winter, or at least a night out evening fragrance. It's just beautifully bewitching and definitely a head turner, that is for sure. The next one I'm going to talk about is one that's very, very popular. In fact, I think it won the scent of 2017. A lot of people own it, but unlike the Chanel, I find this to smell differently on everybody. So I've smelled this on quite a few people, and even though you kind of know what it is because of that signature Giorgio Armani element to it, it does have a different kind of tang to everybody that wears it. It obviously mixes with their pheromones and just smells differently on everybody. And it is, of course, the Giorgio Armani C. Now, this again looks quite underwhelming, but I actually love the packaging of this. I love the lid, like this little pebble. It's beautiful. I really do like the minimalistic packaging that this has. I think the black against the gold hardware and the beautiful crystal bottle just looks stunning. I really do like it. This, for me, it smells very sweet. It smells very playful, very flirtatious, but very expensive. And I think it's quite hard, a high-end fragrance, to get that really beautiful sweetness and still maintain its authenticity in terms of the luxury of the product. The only other one that's this sweet that I really do like, and I think maintains that luxurious feel to it, is the Prada Candy. This just smells very playful, ideal for the autumn winter. I would definitely say it's ideal for autumn winter. It's kind of a woody kind of fragrance, quite outdoorsy, but very sweet at the same time, but not in a typical vanilla sweetness, more kind of outdoors, vanilla being burnt in the woods kind of sweetness. It actually kind of reminds me of the Diptyque Eau Dwell, that kind of vanilla sort of scent, but much more light, much more less complicated than that, and much less inoffensive and headache inducing. It's just a very, very pleasant fragrance. One that's ideal to go to from day to night. I wouldn't say it's specifically floral at all, in my opinion. I would say it's more on the sweet side, but expensive smelling. It is stunning. It's one that I would definitely keep on your radar if you haven't smelt it. There's a kind of a reason why everybody loves this, I think. It's just one of those scents that just smells beautiful. And it's one that's fantastic to go from day to night, from meeting to dinner with the girls or with the guy. It's just gorgeous. It's one that I would definitely recommend And I would say definitely more geared towards autumn and winter for sure, because it's very heavy. Even though it's very sweet, it's kind of a very heavy kind of fragrance. It's very, very sexy as well, but playful and flirtatious, kind of like a night in Paris. It's just stunning, so I love that. The next one and the last one that we're going to move on to in my 5 current perfume favourites is one by Elizabeth and James. Now, Elizabeth and James is a brand by the Olsen twins, Mary-Kate and Ashley. I really do like their perfumes. I think their Nirvana Rose is definitely one that I have to pick up based on what I've heard. I'm really excited about it, but one that's always been on my radar and is a new addition to my collection and I absolutely adore it is the Nirvana Bourbon. This is beautifully packaged. It's one of the most beautiful perfume bottles I've seen in a while. It kind of reminds me of something that you would have found on your dad's dressing table when you were a child. It's just very masculine looking, very sexy, very, very dominating kind of packaging. I really do like it. You have this beautiful glass amber bottle that has this beautiful grain and texture to it, and then all around the edging you have the brushed gold, or kind of like a brassy appeal. It's beautiful. This perfume is it's very complicated. It's very, very similar, if you smelt it, to the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. But instead of it being very, very masculine and very heavy and headache inducing, this is much lighter. So in my opinion, this is kind of a female take on Tobacco Vanille. You have that strong vanilla scent, you have the almost tobacco-y, alcohol-y kind of scent to it as well, but mixed with that sugar, mixed with that sweetness, it kind of combines to make something extra special. Very much again like the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, but much more affordable. This is like 50 quid a bottle, Tobacco Vanille is about 150 depending on the size that you go for, so very, very similar. And I actually think in the packaging, because of the kind of colours that they've kind of taken some inspiration from Tobacco Vanille in my opinion. But I absolutely love this product. It's very light but very heavy. I know that sounds crazy, but because I'm comparing this to Tobacco Vanille, which is uber heavy, this is a much lighter scent. But in terms of the season, I would definitely say this is more autumn and winter for sure. It's a very kind of outdoorsy kind of scent, very heavy, very woody. When I say heavy, I just mean quite spicy actually. And it's very comforting, it's very warm and rich. And for me personally, the overwhelming scent I get from this is again, it's kind of an alcoholic kind of scent. It's like a bourbony kind of scent with vanilla and also a bit of a tobacco twinge, which might not sound that appealing, but I can absolutely tell you it is stunning. I'm not a smoker personally, so I don't overly want to smell like tobacco, but there's just something with tobacco in fragrances that really does work. It smells gorgeous, like a night out. It's just incredible. I absolutely love it. Definitely on my radar to pick up more fragrances from these, because I know a lot of you guys say you wear a lot from Elizabeth and James and you love their scent, so it's definitely a brand that has come more on my radar very, very recently. And I love how this bottle looks. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I actually think the bottle emulates what it smells like inside. Very ambery, very, very sweet but sexy and sophisticated. Definitely not one for the young person. Like, I would definitely say 25 plus would probably appreciate this that little bit more, but I adore it. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but again, you have to appreciate the kind of scent that I've mentioned in order to get on board with this, I think. But I absolutely love it. Longevity of it is fantastic. And again, if I had to sum it up very, very quickly in a nutshell, I would definitely say it is the female version and the much less heavy version of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, and I adore it. It's absolutely beautiful. So it's definitely one to check out if you are interested in a dupe for Tobacco Vanille. So guys, we've come to the end. That is my 5 current perfume favourites that I've been absolutely lusting after this past month or so, and they're definitely going to transition well into the autumn and winter. Perhaps this one a little bit less, because I definitely do think it's a much more fresher spring and summer fragrance, but it's one I absolutely love and it will definitely see me through to the back of summer, that is for sure. It's just very zingy and fresh. And now I've kind of sniffed this a little bit more, another element that I do get to this is kind of like a white chocolate praline mixed with champagne. I mean, is there anything that smells better than that? I'm not sure, but yeah, comment down below with your #1 perfume favourite. I would love to hear from you. I absolutely love your guys' recommendations. If you like these fragrances, let me know down below. Let's get a bit of a conversation going. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and of course if you're new, hi. I hope you decide to stick around to see more from me. I'm going to be posting fragrance videos much more frequently because I absolutely love to talk about them, and if you guys put some recommendations down below, I'll be trying more. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!